Let's do this. Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim. Well, we have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. Well, this is the Grandstanders Live Trading Deadline special show. The deadline just ended 1 hour ago. And, well, first of all, let's talk about the Red Sox, what they did. They acquired Steven Matz for Blaze Jordan. No, it's a good move. I like Matz. I've always liked Matz. I know they tried to
Is
sign
he
him.
a starter, Scotty?
He's
No.
a swing guy, so he can go either way.
But
Right
he
now,
was a terrible starter, Tim. So they've made him a reliever, and he's been successful as a reliever.
yeah, he's
Like
a
a 2-3 inning guy?
yeah, absolutely, yeah. They actually have those kind of guys in Chris Murphy and Justin Wilson right now, and our buddy Brennan Bernardino. But this is an opportunity to get Matz. He can, Joe. He can start for you. I mean, he's not going to give you.
Oh, I guess, especially in a bullpen game, he'd be effective. But
Yeah.
I guess our friend Bernie will have to go. You can't have 5 lefties in your bullpen.
Bernie has had 13 straight scoreless appearances.
Yeah.
How could Bernie go back to to Worcester?
And unfortunately, like 70% of the batters in the league are right-handed, and we've got 5 lefties. They're good lefties. I don't get me wrong. I like them all. And Bernie, of course, is a favorite. He was the most heavily used last year and close to that this year.
Look, the difference to me is that these guys the lefties that we have face right-handers and they're comfortable with it.
But what the statistics, are what they are.
Yeah.
Righties do better against righties, lefty do better against lefties.
It was a nice pickup, Blaze Jordan.
Yeah, a good pitcher's a good pitcher. I've always thought that people are a little too hung up on that, man. But the stats are the stats,
If Steve
They
Matz,
are what they are.
Yeah, if Steve Matz pitches, I think you guys can agree that final inning on the first game of the Twins game, we win that game. So there you go. There's those moments where you would have won a game as opposed to putting in Jordan Hicks. And Blaze Jordan was going to be a Rule 5 guy, and they were going to lose him anyways, probably. So not a bad deal. So now all of a sudden the trade deadline happens.
Scotty, I've never stared at my clock for 2 straight hours. My phone has a little clock at the top of it, just waiting for the name Ryan to come up. You know what I mean?
Matz is not an impact player. He does not move the needle.
No, he doesn't. But that was a nice move, you thought, to start the day.
Nice move on the margin, but we expected, and I think the Red Sox as a team expected more of an impact provided to them. And I think the manager expected more.
I'm going to say my big picture thing here. I have been out on this team 2-3 years now. Out. Don't care. Don't give a F about the Red Sox. F them. Okay. They got me back this year. This is a fun, exciting team. We have Roman Anthony. We have Marcelo Mayer. We have Crochet. Campbell had a cup of coffee, whatever.
Bregman. Duran.
I love me some more Abreu, right? I mean, it's a fun that catch the second baseman made and Dolvin made the double play. That was a fun game, that Dodgers game, right?
Navarre. I know. We have
I mean, they got me back. If there was ever a freaking time to bolster this team, like if we add one starter and a power hitting, like a good hitting first baseman, right? I would put this team against just about anybody in the league, and I'd take my chances. Right?
Okay, right. So let's talk about the second move. Dustin May, who pitched against the Red Sox last weekend, stunk. He's got close to a 5 earned run average. He is actually going to be a free agent this year, but he's been pretty much injured his whole career.
And he's already pitched more innings this year than he ever has before. So he's beyond his limit already.
And then they give up not only Tibbs, Tibbs, you could argue, was the main part of the Devers deal, but now we're finding out they also give this kid Earhart, another kid, a prospect up, an outfielder. They gave up 2 guys. I mean, they just
We can afford to give up an outfielder. What I'm wondering is,
no, but I mean, why?
Duran was a nice chip to have, I thought, right?
No, but no, I know. I wouldn't. I'm glad.
You don't think Duran was a good chip?
They're not.
Oh yeah, he's a great chip.
Offseason.
He'll get more in the off season.
Yes.
You know, because you need, if you're going to trade Duran, you need major leaguers back. And at this time of year, all they want to give you
like
prospects.
a pitcher.
I don't want prospects.
No, Joe. I thought bring us a pitcher. We have an overload of outfielders right now, right?
Nobody's gonna. No, but Joe's point is correct, Timmy. Nobody's gonna. Who wants Duran right now are going to be contenders, and they're not going to give you guys in the major.
We get a pitcher. Well, you don't see Duran as part of rebuilding process for a younger team.
Oh, I can see Duran getting a pitcher in the off season, but not now.
Yeah, right. In the offseason, the Cincinnati Reds, the Pirates, those guys would want Duran and then give you a boatload for him because he's cost control for 3 more years. So absolutely, but right now,
so we trade him for like an expiring contract and a very good pitcher, right? From somebody who's struggling.
No.
Why would you do that?
You want a hell of a lot.
Oh, because we have a great team. We have too many outfielders, and we desperately need pitching, and we want to win this year, right?
You need to get to look. If you want to get to the promised land, you need Duran on this team. He needs to be on the team.
He's quality, above average, all-star caliber major leaguer.
I mean, MVP of the All-Star game last year.
I thought we had sufficient outfielders where we could afford to lose him.
Well, he's an everyday player. You've got William.
So who do we have in the outfield? We have Wilbur. We have
Roman
Anthony.
Play against lefties though.
You could not play him. Could you not play Abreu against lefties? You just can't. He's that terrible against lefties.
He is bad. That's why they platoon him with Ref Snyder.
But this gives you the opportunity, and we've talked about this, especially Joe and I, is that when you get to the offseason, you put out to bid Abreu and Duran. You see what teams will give you for either of those guys, and then you make a decision.
They're both very attractive. They're both very, very attractive because they're under control for many years more for people. It's not like it's an expiring. See, expiring contracts are no good in baseball. No one wants them. Who wants a rental because they always leave?
Well, this is when you're going for a championship, that's what you get, right? That's what
Justin May's not the guy. Justin May. Wait, first of all, the Dodgers.
No, I don't say May.
But there was no one like that out there this year, Tim. No one. You couldn't get anyone. The best pitcher out there was Merrill Kelly. And he's just a good third starter. He'd plug right into a rotation, but the rest of the guys out there kind of stunk.
So Merrill, would you have given Duran for Merrill?
No,
not for.
Who's this guy Ryan? I keep hearing about.
I wouldn't give Duran for Ryan either.
I would consider that, Joe, because you obviously.
I mean, he's been a 4 ERA his whole year. He's having a good year this year.
He's a good guy to have. He's a solid guy that keep your ball game. Yes,
he's been a 3rd or 4th starter his whole career.
I think we
don't give up an everyday player for that.
A high-end starter right now.
This is the point.
You're talking about everyday players, but we have a bevy of good outfielders right now, right?
If you're gonna but if you're gonna give up Tibbs and Earhart, it sounds like you could probably add one more piece and could have got at the very least a Kelly. Because
no, right off the bat, Breslow's been saying that everyone was on the table, including Peyton Toll and the Password. He said there was no untouchables. We offered everyone, and they said teams just didn't line up with us.
That's full of shit. He's
probably, but that's what he's saying.
Now, what it kept coming out, Joe, at the end, you kept seeing reports of Ryan, right?
Yeah.
He said they offered tolls. He said those names.
No, he didn't say those names. He said there was no untouchables in our entire minor league system. None. Everyone was offered, he said.
I don't believe him.
I don't either, but
You know, give up Peyton
You know,
Toll.
hey, I'll say this: if Dombrowski was here, would something have happened?
Yes.
Dombrowski would have already done it like he did this year. He made 2 trades way back by after the All-Star game. He got himself all set up
Yeah,
back then. Then
yeah.
when it comes trade deadline day, you do something funky like the Red Sox and grab an extra reliever. The old-fashioned guys know how to do it.
Justin May
Yeah.
is freaking Richard Fitz.
Yes, exactly. It's like a 1-for-1 swap.
That was just ridiculous. And the guy's injury prone too. And for a rental too, it was. But you know, Tibbs was a big time prospect. I mean, you know, I can't believe they just gave him away.
Well, it was a Trevor Story situation. All of a sudden, time was running out, and he hadn't done anything.
You went into the
So he had to do
supermarket.
something.
There was only 2 loaves of bread left on the whole shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
he had
That,
to take it, even though the expiration date was tomorrow.
yeah, that's what the Red Sox. They paint themselves into a corner every time.
Yeah, he had.
Dombrowski, why don't they fucking take lessons from Dombrowski? I don't get it. You know what I mean?
This is the 3rd year in a row they fucked up the.
And Scotty, I didn't give a shit about. Yeah, well, I mean, we were sellers the other years.
No,
This team,
last year we weren't.
Buyers, we were kind of
I didn't feel the vibe last year. I feel this year. I got to be honest. I feel a vibe this
Oh
year.
no, absolutely. Yeah, but this was the year you had to go in. You had to get. It was pretty clear the guys you needed to get, and you had to get 2 of them. And Steven Matz and Dustin May is just it doesn't even make any sense.
They couldn't go out and find a 30 home run first baseman. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean you had to go to the dirty places, right? You had to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You didn't want to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, and
They
you look
never
at
want
the
to.
other teams, a lot of teams made the teams you're in competition with made a lot of big impact moves like Detroit.
Yeah.
The Yankees made about 6 moves.
Oh,
They
I know.
traded away their whole minor league system to
Yeah.
go for it.
But no, this is it's ridiculous because look, they just had a draft and they just acquired 20 new players. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you had to send some out. I just don't
Yeah.
understand, you know, and then you're going to get 20 new players and you can get players from.
And only 2 or 3 are going to make the major league. So the other
Yeah,
18 are expendable.
He's gun shy. You know.
No, but he wasn't. Think about this, Timmy. He did go all in. Crochet. He
Oh,
did
yeah.
exactly what we wanted.
Well,
him
you
to
got to
do.
keep doing it. You can't just do it here and there. You got to, like Dombrowski, man. He just freaking goes for it, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, so is this a referendum? Look, we just pushed in with Anthony, Mayor, Campbell. Is this a referendum on what we have left in as far as prospects down the minor
You
league?
know a lot better than I would. I don't
No,
follow him
I
like
get
you
it.
do, you know?
Breslow claims that you know, so one of the reporters said, well, does that mean no one thinks very highly of our prospects? And Breslow said, no, it's not that. It's just it didn't match up. People didn't
All right.
match up with us.
Who are our top 5 prospects right now?
Peyton Tolles,
Arias,
Arias,
the password.
Did Tolles go?
Password,
Did
yeah.
Tolles go? Tolles?
No,
No,
Tolles is a
is
grown
still-
ass man. When you see Tolles, you're gonna
What,
love
what position does he play?
left-handed pitcher.
Pitcher.
It's a big,
He's 6'6", 250, is it,
yeah,
Scotty?
he looks like he's a lineman.
And he looks
Is it-
bigger, Tim.
Is this the kid that came out of nowhere?
No, he was drafted second
Who-
round out of
who-
a Northeastern.
Who's the kid who's kind of come out of nowhere?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I saw some article about somebody who's really exceeding expectations.
So look, again, Dustin May, I have no use for. I have no use for Dustin May. I don't even know. I don't even understand that acquisition at all. I like Matz more than I like May.
Yeah, that's like if he'd been with us in spring training, he would have been in competition with Priester and Crawford and Fitz and all those guys, you know.
Yeah, I just don't see this. But again, the Dodgers are trying to go back to back. Why would they wouldn't give us a starter that they thought was any good?
Yeah. Of course not. You know, they have World Series aspirations.
Of course, yes.
Not deadline trade aspirations.
It's a terrible deal. That was a terrible deal. he did a horrific. Well, look, he hardly did anything, but he did a horrific job in the trading deadline again. If is Breslow's job in trouble if they don't make the playoffs?
No, but it should be. There's going to be a clamoring.
Timmy?
You know, I don't know what was on the table. You know, I see all these other teams getting it done. I mean, we don't want to give up the farm for everything, right? I mean, he doesn't seem like, like we just said, he's always looking at the shelf when there's 2 loaves of bread left. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
But he did
See,
the crochet deal, Timmy. So
no, but I know he did that, but you got to keep doing it, Scotty.
No, I know, but I'm saying
you can't do that and rest on your laurels. You know what I mean?
Well, I gotta say, all the guys during the offseason, he did a fine job. Brought in Chapman, best reliever on the team. Brought in Bregman, best player on the team.
Crochet.
Brought in Crochet, best pitcher on the team. Brought in Narvaez, made Wong an afterthought.
Moved Anthony,
best catcher in the American League.
Yeah, and Wilson.
You gotta.
But
like this is where you put the icing on the cake to make that run.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Tim, you know what you're talking about there.
No,
like we did when we had that good year,
He's analytical. I talk about this in the writing world, is that the people who spend years writing a book and they don't know how to finish it. Okay, he's always analyzing. Okay, he wants to measure 5,000 times before he cuts. So he doesn't like pressure like this. That's why the offseason he handles it much better. He can get all his ducks in a row. This is pressure. Dombrowski can handle this stuff. He knows he's a poker player.
I'm going to make an analogy that I know my wife doesn't watch this, so I can say this. It's like trying to pick out a color to paint something, and they look at 50 different colors, and then we end up not even painting.
Exactly. So, yep,
If I need a pair of pants, I go to the store, okay? I'm coming home with the pair of pants. Some people go to 15 different stores and never come home with the pair of pants.
For him, would you agree that he probably should have made all his deals a week ago?
The difference is I saw Dombrowski today, and he was cool as a cucumber. His work had been done. He was happy as a clam. He was, telling stories and everything. And now you see Breslow up here on his press conference, and he looks like the most uncomfortable person on earth. He's got all sorts of facial twitches and mannerisms. You can tell that he's extremely uncomfortable.
Well, I know I wasn't the only one staring at my phone for the last 3 hours.
He doesn't look like that. He just doesn't function like this. They should bring in somebody who can function like that for these particular situations. That's where if Theo is a consultant, you bring in Theo for the last.
Theo would have done something.
Of course, you had to do something.
He's in the employee of Fenway Sports Group, so
you had to do something. You had to go get a first baseman. Now, let's talk about the situation. I mentioned it last night in our text thread. I think they're going to stick Campbell there.
Well, why not? You're paying the guy top dollar. You're hoping he becomes an everyday major leaguer. Why not?
But
Abraham Toro sucks.
He was hitting $125 when he went down, though, right?
No, now he's up. Yeah, no, he's been.
No, he's been hot. Like the last month, he's been hitting like 400. Tim.
I mean, I like the kid, but he's not a big home run guy, right?
No, he has power. He'll develop.
Oh yeah, he's a home run guy. He's
a big kid, Timmy. Yeah, he's gonna fill out.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the biggest kid on the team.
Yeah,
I'm pissed. I'm pissed. That's all I can say.
Oh, I don't blame you. I think Lou Maloney said it best. They had the deadline show.
Yeah,
he was on with Tom Cameron and an old GM and a couple of writers. Yeah. And Maloney said, "Look, I hear this every day on my when I was on radio, when I'm on social media. The last 5-6 years since 18, people don't trust this management because they don't get it done." and they didn't get it done again. You know, he says, nothing against May and Matts. I like the guys, I like the amps, but they should have done more. And
And
that's a guy that's employed by the team.
Yeah.
I believe this is a good team. This isn't last year's team. We got Crochet, we got Bregman, we got Anthony now, we got Mayer. You know, Abreu's doing great. You know, it's a good freaking team.
guys.
You know,
Look, guys, we won 4 World Series championships since 2004. Every year we won a championship, we acquired key guys at
Yep.
the deadline that put us over the top. Even
Yep.
the team had Pierce, who is incredible. I mean, he's
Yep.
one of the
World
reasons.
Series MVP.
Yeah, I mean,
you see it every time, Scotty.
Yeah.
You got to
You
put
have
that frosting on the cake. You know what I mean?
if you didn't make a deal, like, you're not going to win a World Series if you
Nope.
get just like these shitty pitchers.
How about, you know, in 04, you know, trading for Cabrera and
Trading, getting Cabrera, who was key, getting McCavich, getting Dave
Yeah.
Roberts at the last second. These guys contributed to winning the title. And look, every time we've done that, we've acquired guys, the Jake Peavies of the world in 13. You remember? I mean, you have to do this. And they refuse to do it. Why? Now, rumor comes out by Chris Cotillo, Mass Live, a few hours before the deadline is that Henry refuses to go over the second apron. So,
but that's bogus, because they're 10 million under. No one would cost you that much at this point in the season. It would have to be someone making more than 30 million, right?
No, but they just put a shitload of money in their pocket. Getting rid of Devers.
guys.
They just got 30 million back, putting Devers gone, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, no, they got but a combination of guys, Joe, might have gotten over. You know, had you acquired.
Yeah, you know, like Diaz makes 9-something million this year. He would have cost you 3 because there's only a third of the season left.
Yeah, no, right.
So and then that would be another 7 you got to play with. So then would be someone making 20-something, right?
And yeah,
I mean, everyone there's no one out there in the marketplace at this time that's making big deals.
you know what they're missing the boat? They could freaking own this town. They could own this. This town is dying for the Red Sox to like do something. Look, we just get a whiff of it, and that place is banged out every game now. You know, I mean, the town.
again,
people are more fired up this year than they've been a long. I know I am.
There's been some really good games this year.
Yeah,
some real fun games.
We have stars again, Joe. When was the last time we had stars?
Yeah.
Crochet, Bregman, Anthony, Mayer. We have stars again. Rafaela. I mean, I like Wilbur. You know? I mean, I think Wilbur's a star.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anthony's gonna be the best player in baseball probably next year.
Anthony could be a Hall of Famer.
He's that good. I know.
You know, and just look what the change of putting Anthony as the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and
he's been like on base like over 500, and look what it's done for Duran, taking the pressure off him. He's not a kid that likes the pressure. He doesn't react well to pressure on him. Putting him at second, third, fourth, fifth in the lineup, all of a sudden he's hitting. Now that he doesn't have to lead off.
My thing that you could have given up pitching prospects today, because remember, Houck and Crawford come back to your roster next year. You can trade those guys. So that's additional guys that you could let go. So you could give them 2-3 pitching prospects for Orion.
And wait a minute, we draft 13 pitchers last year and 15 this year. That's 28 pitchers we got in the lower minors.
You need to
fodder.
You needed to make things happen, and you didn't do it. And again, what are we worried about? We're worried about after Crochet and Bayo, who do they have to start? A third game.
Giolito's been excellent since the first 4 games of the year.
I know, but okay, Giolito. All right, fine, but
he's been better than his stuff isn't as good as Bayo, but he's a little smarter than Bayo.
Okay,
Listen,
fourth starter.
I'm not putting the mortgage on Bayo any day of the week, you
Oh
know.
no, he's pitched very well. I
But
think
he
he's
could
He has
implode at any
pitched well.
time. He
He's
could
got great
implode.
stuff, Tim. It's just that sometimes he gets a little wacko.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
doesn't respond well to pressure.
his makeup worries me. I gotta
I know
be
you watched
honest.
that
It's
documentary.
gotten better though. It's gotten
That
100
scared the
times
crap
better.
out of me watching
Yeah.
that guy, saying we're
You-
counting on this guy. He's a freaking stick of dynamite waiting out the short fuse, you
What was
know.
it night before last? He was so odd. He would throw 7 balls in a row, then throw like 4 strikes in a row. He was all over the place, but
You
I
know,
mean,
how
it ended
confident
up
are
he
you
only gave up 1 run.
going into a big playoff game with him as your starter? How you
I'm
feeling?
getting better.
You
I'm
know?
getting there. I'm getting there. He's
Yeah.
more mature. He's not
Well,
hitting.
I think he has 11 quality starts in a row.
Hey, I
That's
hope he
pretty
does great.
expensive.
I'm just not
Pretty good.
completely on board with him yet, though.
But Tim, you talk a lot about
a good starter, you know, a good starter.
Tim, you talk a lot about the NHL, and just you always remind us about their age, and these guys are young. Bayo's a young kid. I mean, these guys, and especially coming
Yeah.
out of the Dominican
How old
Republic,
is he?
it's going to take a while for these guys to mature and develop, and you can just kind of see what's happening, and that he's a quality.
Hey, Scotty, I hope he does it. I hope he does. I mean, I wish well for. I hope they all succeed. You know, I'm just.
The fact is, we have Crochet, and when you have a starter like that, we know with the Beckett's and the Pedros of the world, you're always going to be in things because you have a stopper, and he's legit.
And you have the bullpen that can kind of hold things together too, that isn't going to implode in the late innings.
Yeah. So they have a lot of good parts. So now, do you answer the question if Merrick could come back? Has that been any?
I don't think he's coming back. Breslow said, yeah, well, he's going to get a second opinion. How long does it take him to get a second opinion? That should have been on the second day. I guess he's dragging his feet.
What's wrong?
He's
with
another Jacoby Ellsbury. Looks like a Tristan Casas.
What's wrong with him?
The wrist.
His wrist.
Oh, he's obviously out for the season. I mean, it's
Really?
Yeah.
okay. So what do you? But again, you should bring Campbell up for the weekend.
Exactly.
I mean,
if you're going to send Bernie down, send Toro down and bring Campbell up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just he didn't even play in the he didn't even play outside the margins this time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was disappointed in all of it. Again, you could have picked up someone. I'm perplexed.
Well, he didn't do anything until yesterday. Something should have been done before then. He was trying to play his cards like he was a real card shop, and he ended up they played him for a fool all the way down the line.
Yeah,
You know, he's like at a card game where the guy checks and checks and checks and checks, and all of a sudden, you know, they say, "Oh, the game's over." You know,
the Dodgers just love dealing with us. They take us every freaking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my God, the Dodgers. I mean, it's like when we dealt with Atlanta for Chris Sale. You think Atlanta was going to send you back a prospect that was any good? Vaughn Grissom. And you only got one prospect for Chris Sale.
Couldn't they have packaged him in a deal, got rid of him?
they would have given him. They would have given him away for a bag of balls, which they.
Well,
really
he
did,
assumed he was
what I
getting
mean?
given away for a bag of balls. Did you see the quotes that came out of him this weekend?
Yeah, they couldn't
He
even
assumed he was gone.
They couldn't even get rid of Vaughn Grissom to the Dodgers. Won't even take him. Again, this is just. And I think we have to talk about the aspect like you mentioned. You mentioned, Joe. What's the deal with the locker room right now? They didn't help themselves.
Yeah. Well, again, I'll go back to what Lou Maloney was saying. And he said, making trade line acquisition, if you don't make trade line acquisitions, what happens is usually, there's a little, you say, I got confidence in the team. Maybe it's a little push. But he said, if you have hit a bad stretch, then someone in the clubhouse is going to say, well, this wouldn't be happening if you did this at the deadline. And that becomes.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
We've seen it ourselves.
We've seen it like 4 years in a row now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they go right in the tank. Remember, they were way up and they
But these guys that were rumored to go went to other teams.
yep.
Yeah,
It's not
someone
like
got it
they
done.
didn't get traded. Other than Ryan, they all got traded. And guys that
The Tigers had like 6 arms. 6 arms. They had plenty, and don't tell me they have more ammunition than the Red Sox.
how does Cora react to this?
I don't think he'll be happy. He hasn't been happy the last few years when they did nothing, no impact players for him. And they
No.
haven't given him anything this time either.
I'll say it again. I think this year's different. I think this year was more important than the other years. I think
Yes.
we actually have something to work with this year. I had no confidence in those teams the last few years. None, zero. I could have given a crap, to tell you the truth. This year, you didn't hear me doing this last year. You didn't hear me doing this the year before. Because I
No.
didn't think I didn't think they were in it. I looked at what was on the field. I had no faith in what I saw. This year, they got something to work with, in my opinion.
And also, it's a weak. The AL American League is weak this year. The National League is strong, and the American League is weak. This is an opportunity to possibly get to the World Series, and anything can happen once you get there. Do they have enough to get to the World Series?
It's anyone's game in the American
If they
League.
can get to the wild card, but looking now, I don't think they can. I don't think they can get.
What is that right? Tell me, what's the right side of the infield, which has just been horrific for I can't even remember since 18. Who is the right field and infield? It's right side. It's Toro and Gonzalez right now still.
No, they've been playing Sedan.
Well, no, they got to stop doing that. The Yoshida experiment needs to end.
Yeah, but and center field. Durant just not a center fielder.
Oh,
He has no baseball instincts. The ball has to be hit at him, and he reacts to it after the ball's on its way to him. Rafaela reacts at the crack of the bat, and he's off like a shot.
How can you take Raphael out of center field? It's just
The best center fielder in the major leagues, and you take him out and put like a ham and egger out there.
and put him at second base of all things, like the most useless position. Who always growing up, the worst player always played second base.
But that was a great double play he made there the other against the Dodgers in the eighth inning.
And then the catch over the
and then the relay the other night that got the guy at home plate. That was a gorgeous one too.
It is unbelievable. He does something every night to win a game. Oh my!
He impacts a game even when he's not hitting. He impacts the game in one.
Was he the guy who dove and made the double play?
Yeah.
Oh, what a play!
That's a second.
He's got baseball instincts, Tim.
That's the guy with. Who used to do that? Bucky Dent? No, who was that? Who was that? Denny. Who was that really smart second baseman we had?
Kenny Doyle?
Marty Barrett?
Marty Barrett. Marty Barrett had those instincts, right?
Marty. But no.
Those guys were like, their head's always working. Baseball. You know what I mean? There's just something different about certain, like Gretzky almost in hockey. They're
seeing the game differently.
I don't think Rafaela really thinks that much. He's just got great instinct.
Well, that's what I mean. It's born in him. He has it in him.
Oh yeah, he just reacts.
Yeah, like a lot of guys don't make that play.
The ball plays for most guys. The ball plays them. Rafaela, he plays the ball.
That was a true ball
catch.
Play, a DNA play.
Oh yeah, that was a nice. He impacts the game no matter where he is.
Like he didn't hesitate a second.
Center.
He didn't hesitate a second. He knew as the ball was coming to him, this is what I'm doing.
That was a huge play in that game.
Huge play.
Saved the eighth inning in a one-run game.
Freeman was coming up next, and Freeman was going to get a hit then. And tie that up at least.
That Dodgers lineup is stacked, man.
Yeah, they go.
And that's with Mickey not having a good year too.
So the Dodgers, I don't know if you heard this, they fly 2 charters, 2 planes. The players are so powerful in that team that the players get their own plane, and then all the other personnel, media, team personnel are on a different plane. So there's 2 planes taking off. the
You know,
same.
so that means two teams making the same exact offer. I'll go to the Dodgers. Thank you very much.
Well, obviously the Dodgers have plenty of dough to
Well,
spend.
so do the Red Sox.
So what grade are we giving the Red Sox?
Wait, Scotty. The Red Sox have plenty of dough.
I know, of course they do, but they won't spend it. What's the Joe? What's their grade?
Oh, for the deadline?
Yeah.
F.
All right, Timmy.
F.
Yeah. Oh,
I was so
F.
fired up to see something impactful come. Because, like I said, I'm excited about this team.
You're possibly now seeing no return for the Devers deal, like getting rid of Tibbs. I know we're not. Tibbs, Hicks sucks.
Are they going to bring Harrison up?
Harrison, I don't know about whether he's any good. This Bayo is just a lottery ticket. They truly gave away Devers. I know they've got rid of the contract, and I'm glad Devers is gone, but you should have got more for him. Absolutely.
During
Even
the season, you can't get more. All you're getting is prospects, and that's all they got.
yeah. So so Breslow grade for in-season moves this 2025 season, Timmy.
F. Well, I mean, before the season, he did a great job.
No, but
You know?
in the Devers deal, these deals.
Well, I got to give him just having the balls to move Devers. Those probably came from the ownership. So I can't. Maybe I'd give him a B- on that because I think Henry just went down and said, "Get rid of this guy." Just make it happen.
Yeah, but the whole premise was that you would spend money.
As Russell had said before, we thought with that contract, we thought we might have to give a good player away just for someone to eat that contract.
Yeah.
So
and we actually got a return on it.
Yeah,
so I think
that
we won that trade.
Yeah,
We
I would
did.
say
Every
we
way.
won that trade.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right. So, but an F on this, and this is an F.
This is an F. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll give Breslow a B all around for this season, but the trade deadline is an F. He failed miserably.
I mean, I'm just praying these guys that two guys we just got to have some type of an impact.
He was supposed to get either a frontline starter. It didn't have to be an ace or a number two, but a number 3 or 4 would have been fine. Someone dependable, or in a first baseman. He got neither.
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 Is a duplicate skill set. We have Murphy.
He got